What's up, y'all? This your girl Amber, aka The Burr. Let's talk about some Walking Dead stuff. Season 6, episode 11, Knots Untied. This episode is definitely getting us back into the regular motion of how things go on The Walking Dead. It's a little traumatic, a little bit of action, definitely some sad stuff going on. So let's talk about the top 3 feels moments of this episode. A lot of emotional stuff went down, and I definitely want to share that stuff with you guys, so stay tuned. The number 3 feels moment for this episode for me was Rick and Carl's talk about his new romance with Michonne. It was kind of like a bro moment almost. Rick was like, yeah, this just happened. When I say, I mean like just happened. It just happened. And Carl is just like, what? Okay. He definitely didn't seem like he was fazed by it at all. If anything, I think he was happy that he can see his dad happy with somebody, and it's been a really long time since he's seen them that way. And it's kind of strange because I don't think Rick has had the birds and the bees talk with Carl at all, given the circumstances, with the walkers and, life hanging by a thread at every second. So he hasn't really got a chance to have this talk with him, although he's talked to him about death and how anyone can die. I think that happened in season 2. He talked to him about, he could die, his mom could die. So I guess that was more important than the coming of age sex talk that most fathers have with their son. The number 2 feels moment of season 6 episode 11 is Maggie watching the morning woman at Hilltop. First of all, let's talk about how Rick has zero home training at this point. Every settlement he walks into, he's killing someone and he's covered in the residents' blood. Come on, Rick, can we get this together, please? I mean, I understand you were kind of caught in the crossfire of this whole thing, but at some point, just back away and just let the people that actually live here handle the situation. Come on, bro. So this brawl leads to Rick killing the man that stabbed Gregory, and he turned around and attacked Rick, so Rick is rolling on the ground with him, and he ended up shucking him in his throat, and he bleeds out all over Rick's face. A few moments later, after the smoke clears, Maggie is inside and she's looking out the window and she sees this woman sobbing over the man who just died, which was her husband, assuming it was her husband. She's sobbing over him. And I'm just like, is this some sort of foreshadowing? Just a look on Maggie's face, she was like, this could be me one day. And I'm like, no, it can't be you, please. AMC, don't take Glenn from us, please. Take me instead. My number 1 feels moment of this episode is Glenn and Maggie's ultrasound, and they get to see their baby, and Glenn gets to see the baby, and everyone, they pass around the ultrasound. Oh my gosh, it hit me directly in the feels, like bullseye. It's a sad moment. It's a glimmer of hope, and it's so exciting, and everyone's gonna collaborate to protect the same way that they do Judith, the same way everyone kind of does their part to protect Judith. Everyone's going to gather around this piece of hope that they have, and they're going to protect it with everything they have, with their whole being, with the whole group, all the resources that they have. They're going to use it to protect this new child. To me, it's a glimmer of hope, but it's also sad because that it's inevitable that some fucked up shit is going to go down around this child. Someone is going to get taken from this child, or this child could be taken from them. You never know. So it's just too much for me. Anyway, I just want to do a quick segment of looking forward to the next episode, season 6 episode 12. I expect a character death. I think the lives that are on the line here are Glenn, Abraham, and Daryl. I definitely think there was a lot of foreshadowing that Glenn might be the next on the chopping block. I really hope not. Mentally, I don't think I'm prepared for this death if it happens. But the scene between him and Abraham, and he used a pancake analogy. Come on, Abraham. Sometimes your shenanigans, I can't. But he asked him, did you purposely get Maggie pregnant? And Glenn is like, yeah, we're trying to build something. We have hope. We want to build something for our child. And whenever someone's talking about building some shit, like Deanna's husband, whenever there's a little hope for someone who isn't Rick, they like to off those people. And then also my feels moment where Maggie is watching the woman mourning, and it seemed like it was some sort of foreshadowing of what she might end up going through. Abraham, I just feel like he's been having a lot of weird visions and thoughts, you know, between him and Sasha, and just how his mind is operating at this moment just doesn't seem quite right. Not that he's ever seemed all the way right, but something is more off than normal with Abraham, in my opinion. I think the man that he almost killed, one of the Hilltops people, when they went into that place after the car crash and saved him, I think the man talking about how when he thought it was all over, when he thought he was about to die, the first thing he saw was his wife's face, and he said he saw her clear as day. And we all know that Abraham had a wife and children that got taken earlier on, and I think that kind of stuck with him. Even though he didn't say anything, you can kind of see that stuck with him, like, damn, you know, when I die, am I going to see my wife? Is that how I'm gonna feel? So that, I thought that was a little bit of foreshadowing for Abraham's death. And Daryl, I've been team Daryl dies since my last predictions video. I don't want him to die, but I just like to prepare myself for losing these characters that I love oh so much. So I think Daryl might also be on the chopping block because he signed this Negan check and handed it over to Hilltop and Gregory, saying that, hey, we can go get this guy for the supplies that you're offering. Even though Rick was on board, it wasn't really his idea. Daryl saw this small group of dudes that he managed to blow up, and he thinks that's it. He thinks it'll be an easy deal, but he might be writing a check that his ass can't cash. I hate to use that analogy, but I'm thinking that might be what is coming in the future. Anyway, so we'll see. Thanks you guys for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and put your comments down on the bottom. Tell me what you think is going to happen in season 6 episode 12. What did you think about this episode? Were there any feels moments for you that just hit you right at home? Put that down in the comments as well. Also, sorry for sounding a little tired, a little exhausted. I'm in the middle of a cross-country move from Georgia to Los Angeles, so I'm sorry that I sound a little tired, but I definitely want to get this video out for you guys. I really want to talk about this episode. It was a super cool episode. So anyways, I'll catch you guys next week with another video. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @theburr_beesh. I'll be live tweeting every episode of The Walking Dead, so be sure to check me out there. And thanks again for watching. Peace.